and all the captain and his driver and would sleep over here. They were the only whites, so the lieutenant and the extra driver would sleep over there, and we slept back here.
Yeah, I accidentally opened that door and I saw the bunk beds. Let's talk about women firefighters
Yeah.
and why did they catch so much hell?
Simply because they were women.
Okay, give me a complete sentence.
Black and
They caught hell because.
yeah, they caught hell simply because they were female, and you had black and white males that were reluctant to work with the females, because we had to twist a few arms and re-educate them in order to make sure that they, because we actually worked with the the first 7 ladies that we hired. And I told the commissioner, and I said, we're going to have to follow them all the way through to make sure that they get through and no problems, you know. And we did, and the commissioner gave us the order and put out a letter to the chief and everybody, and we had the authority to go in, and we went in heavy-handed, letting them know that we were watching all the steps, you know. And so they had no real major problem that I know of. They had a lot of cat calls, you know, and stuff like that, and everything. But they were some smart ladies too, because they were handpicked as well as we were handpicked, you know. And so I remember Liz Summers, and you had Sheila Kirkland, and they were real sharp. And Liz was, I think she had been a school teacher, and I'm not sure what else she had, but anyway, Liz was one of the most vocal. She was not the most vocal, but she was one of them, and she showed aptitude to do everything. Because I recall we had our organization, Black Firefighters Organization, and she would go to the meetings out of town with us and everything. She would attend all the meetings and be vocal in the meetings, you know. And so we were happy to have a female firefighter, the only one. And they weren't used to that. We went to Baltimore, we went to Washington, we went to California, we went everywhere. We had firefighters in our organization, and she was there. Yeah, it was amazing. It was wonderful. She enjoyed it, and we enjoyed it, and you know, and she represented our organization.
That's excellent. Well, now we're going to end up with a conversation on you. And how we're going to do that is I want you to tell me about the political power plays that made you chief.
Well,
And let's not name names of the folks that didn't get the job because
okay.
you know,
They're
that
still
was-
living.
Yeah, they're still living.
Yeah.
But you can name some of the other players. I don't mind Andy Young.
Yeah, well, Andy Young was the ultimate person who appointed me, and he was new in the mayor, and he was trying to learn the mayor position of the mayor, and all that, and he needed help as far as Atlanta, because Andy had been a congressman from Atlanta, but he went to Washington, and he was in and out and traveling, and he was an ambassador, and he was away from Atlanta for a while, so he didn't know the people in the inner city government. And so that's where Mr. Hill came in. And see, Mr. Hill and Andy go way back, because Mr. Hill used to get them out of jail, pay for their bails when they got arrested with Dr. King and were marching with Dr. King. And they would call, and Jesse Hill would go down and pay their bail and get them out of jail. So all of that, I learned all of that later on, but that was the connection that was made. And so Mr. Hill and I became very close simply because he was opening doors for us. They would slam a door in our face, and lo and behold, we would be called downtown for a meeting. Mr. Hill had opened the door for us, and they said, well, come down, Mr. Heyman, we're going to meet with you. And we met with everybody, vice mayor, all the politicians. I remember one time we were invited down to a hotel in the conference room, and we met with the executive. I'm trying to think. These were people, business people who ran the city, really, behind the mayor. They supported the mayor, and they called it Chamber of Commerce. That's what it was. we met with the Chamber of Commerce. I said, gosh, here we are firefighters. Here we're meeting with the Chamber of Commerce. I was amazed, you know. But we met with them, and they asked, wanted to know how we were doing in the fire department and how they could help the fire department.